Good morning, I'm Miss Isabel. I am the first classroom on the right-hand side as you enter the school building, if you are not familiar. I've been a teacher, a Montessori teacher for 40 years. I have worked with Sugar Creek Montessori approximately 10 years. I got into teaching through my own children, who are now 40 years old and have their own children. Both of them were ready to go out and socialize with other children, and pretty much what I could do at home with them was just not enough. So what I decided to do was find a morning program. As they grew up, I learned that, grew up by the time they were 3, they had outgrown church programs and they needed something a little bit more formal that was not only socializing and entertaining, but also was something that they could be learning from and learning with other children. I had read about Montessori many years before as a young girl and just kind of put it on the back burner. And when I started thinking about my own children was when I started looking into Montessori, because it did make an impression in my mind at how children learned some of the things that you would not learn in a traditional school or even a traditional preschool environment. I wanted them to be independent. I wanted them to develop concentration and all of those good things that a good Montessori program offers. So I was only able to find one Montessori school at that time. There were very few. So only one Montessori school where I lived, and I enrolled my children and they did very well. So I am going to start this video off just by telling you a little bit about Montessori. So if you see me looking down at my notes, you're right, because I want to keep track of what I'm saying to you, because I want to make sure that everything that I say will help you be more confident and more at ease if you aren't yet at what we are doing. Because I know a lot of people bring their children to Montessori thinking it's good, but they really don't know what we're about. So here you are. Okay, let's see. I'm not a teacher. When I went to school, I was taught during my Montessori training, which was here in Houston at the Houston Montessori Center. I was taught that we are not teachers. What we do and what they taught us to do was to prepare a very rich environment that children could learn in through discovery on their own. Yes, I present the lesson. I show them how to work with things. I show them what to do, but then they take off and do it on their own. It is not me, it is the work. I do want them to have a relationship with me, and I do want them to enjoy my company, but I want them to love this environment. I want them to learn and to grow through this environment. And I want them to reach their fullest potential as they progress through the years in this environment. So every lesson on the shelf has a purpose and it has a direct aim. Some of the aims or some of the lessons on the shelf have maybe just one aim, to develop one thing in the child. But most of the lessons that you will see on the shelf, as I walk you through the classroom, they are designed to at least give 3, 4, or 5 different opportunities to develop everything that your child will need for the next 3 years, okay? Because ideally, the Montessori program is designed as a 3-year program. They come in at 3, they build and they refine through the 3 years everything that the program and these shelves have to offer. So it's a joy to get them at 3. And this is what we do. Lost my concentration, every lesson on the shelf is designed with either the purpose of building coordination, concentration, independence, judgment, and each one has that, okay? So I'm going to walk you through just the first part of the classroom, okay? So here we go. This is practical life. Again, practical life is where everybody starts, but it's not an area where the child is just in practical life. He's given lessons in practical life because it is the foundation of the classroom. It's where he learns how to work with a pencil, how to cooperate with his friends, how to take turns, how to work independently. The coordination, everything is built here. And try to turn this gently. So all of the lessons that you have here are designed for 3 to 6 year olds because a Montessori classroom overlaps with a 6-year-old. Okay? So as I go through the classroom, I hope that you will be able to see all the different lessons. As I progress, these lessons are more difficult. Then practical life goes into science. So this is where they are going to study parts of the animals. They are also going to study here at the beginning. They are also going to study to my right here, or to my left. They are going to begin to study the formation of the earth, the universe. All of that is presented to them. Even the 3-year-olds get these lessons. The thing is that a 3-year-old will listen and he will watch, and he learns indirectly. A 4-year-old will listen, watch more carefully, listen more intently, and benefit more from the lesson. So they're all just building blocks. And as you see, it goes through the life cycles of the animals, the plants, the parts of the animals, the plants of the birds. We talk about everything. Then we end up here at the bottom, you end up with life cycles of the animals. And we talk about the whole thing. You know, we don't reserve anything. We say it with justly and with precise language to where, you know, it's just a formal part of life is life ends. So it starts, and then these folders over here is what a 3-year-old will do. He will not work with the booklets. The booklets are there for him to work with, but he won't succeed with them, and he doesn't really like them because it's a lot of paper to hang on to. And this is what I'm referring to, these booklets right here. So most of my 3-year-olds and my 4-year-olds do not gravitate to these. They will gravitate more to what you see up here. And it's the same thing. It has all of the parts of the plant, the parts of the fish, all of the animals are in here. Life cycles are down there at the bottom. So everything is presented to everyone. It's just that as they get older and they have more concentration, they have more control of their hands and their eyes, and they are able to listen longer and to work longer, then that's when we come in with more of the booklets. Until then, you're going to probably get booklets that are just kind of scribbled on, and you really won't know what this is, but it's building up to it. So this is part of what we have.